Gentlemen, as we know, as we get older, unfortunately, hair recedes from some places and starts coming out places that we don't necessarily want it to, like our nose and our ears. And well, there's got to be a way to take care of it, and indeed I have shown a few of those ways before. However, today we are taking a look specifically at the Brio nose and ear hair trimmer, which I've been using ever since I got the V2 to review. Now, I can't tell you exactly how long I've used it, but I can indeed tell you that I have put it through its paces. Now, the Brio nose and ear hair trimmer is rather discreet. It just kind of is this. It's just a tube with the Brio logo on it and a little battery sign here so you know what direction to put the batteries in. And speaking of the batteries, to change them out, you simply just unscrew the very bottom of the trimmer, and you have access to the single AA battery that this product takes to run. And those batteries that you need, you will have to pick up on your own, as they do not come in the box itself. Now, what you get with the trimmer is two different heads. You have the linear trimmer for getting around the ears and such, as well as, of course, the rotary, which gets nicely in the nose and deeper into the ear. Now, the trimmer also comes with a cap, which fits nicely onto the nose hair trimmer head. Unfortunately, it does not work with the linear head, as it's just not long enough. Now, Brio does state on their website that this is waterproof. I'm going to say that it's at least water resistant, which is definitely a good thing, as if you knock it into your sink while you're shaving or something and you got running water or a basin full of water, you don't want this thing breaking down and getting ruined on you the first time that happens, as it is very easy to knock this over because it does have a very small base to really set the trimmer down on. Now, Brio did something different that a lot of companies don't, or that I haven't seen at least on a nose and ear hair trimmer. Most of them have a little twist the head thing to turn on or off, where Brio just went with the simple flashlight idea and put a button on the bottom to turn it on and off, which I think is really nice, as it makes it so that the whole tube or structure of the trimmer can be as flat and clean as possible. The trimmer is also fairly discreet. When you've got that lid on it, it's not screaming, hey, I'm a nose hair trimmer. So just throwing this into your dot bag or having it in your bathroom isn't necessarily gonna scream, this guy's got a forest up his nose. So I do really like the kind of discreetness and black look of this trimmer. But now you're probably wondering how it works. Well, I'm not gonna get too up close and personal with you guys today. All I'm gonna say is that I think that it does a fairly decent job, because I don't end up really finding myself needing to go back and double hitting spots because it didn't cut or just not quite getting the spots that I want. I find that the little slots in the top of the rotary trimmer are the right size for my nose hairs, so I have no issue with it there. And as far as using the linear trimmer head to cut along the ears, I find it also to be sufficient. Now, obviously, you're gonna get closer by waxing, which I did in a video not too long ago. Now, I do think that I get much closer with this rather than using something like a scissors, which can be a little bit daunting and take some time. Now, if you've used trimmers like this before, you may notice that some of them can be much louder than what you would think that they would be. However, the Brio, at least with the nose hair trimmer, seems to be fairly quiet, with this being how loud it is at about a foot distance. Now, most of that noise is coming from the cutting head itself, and here's what just the motor sounds like. So as you can hear, it is fairly quiet and does not make much noise itself. Now, unfortunately, I can't say the same for the linear head, as it kind of sounds like a bee flying around your ears when you are using it, but it's not to the point where it's unbearably loud. But as you can hear, it is quite a bit louder than the nose hair trimmer, which is honestly mostly what I use this little trimmer for. Now, I know that I've told you guys some of the things that I like throughout this video, but I want to do a quick recap here at the end. One, I love the little flashlight type button for the on and off. I like that it is kind of discreet, at least when you have the nose hair trimmer on it, which is honestly probably what most guys are going to be using this for the majority of the time. I do also like how it's got a nice cap that helps with that discreetness, as well as, you know, this is kind of a personal tool, and I would rather not everybody see, you know, if there's a little extra hairs or something sticking out of it. It is also fairly easy to wash out. You can just take it off like that and run some water through it, and it cleans out fairly easily. Now, the things that I don't like about this is I wish that there was a way to store the extra linear head. Whether if it was just a little clip on the bottom somehow or on the top even, I'm not really sure how this could be stored, but I do wish that at least it came with some kind of a bag of its own or storage case of its own besides what the box has. And this is a complaint that I have about all trimmers and shavers that have multiple heads or combs or anything. A lot of them just don't come with any way to store them after you take it out of the packaging. I also noticed during this review that the linear head can separate just a little bit along its base there. And although I don't think that it's an issue, it is something that could eventually be an issue if it dropped with the linear head on it. And now comes the cost of the Brio trimmer. Now, honestly, I thought that it was going to be more because the trimmer does have a nice metal body to it, although the lid is plastic here. It's not the most expensive, but it's also not the cheapest, coming in right about $20 to $23, depending on the location that you buy the Brio nose and ear hair trimmer. Do I think that it's worth the money? Honestly, I really do, as I think that the sleekness of it and everything that I just mentioned is worth that little bit extra, about $5 extra for a decent quality product that I know should last me a good long time. Now, of course, if you don't want to use a trimmer on your ears, you can very easily go ahead and have them waxed, which you can see my experience with that right up here. Down below, that's going to be a video that you'll probably enjoy as well. Until next time, as always, you have a good one.